Spent the last couple of years looking to buy a service-based business, particularly a business in the trades. My wife and I reviewed hundreds of businesses. We did due diligence on a couple, really got close with one or two. But in the end, we didn't end up buying one. My whole background is in technology, specifically healthcare technology, but I knew I didn't want to keep working for a large corporation. I wanted to go out on my own, and we drank the Kool-Aid. We saw all the videos you've probably seen online. People like Cody Sanchez or Mike Rowe promoting buying businesses and going into the trades. We viewed it as a ticket to financial freedom, flexibility, being in control of our own destiny. And while we didn't end up buying a business, we did start a business. Over the last couple months, we've started a business aimed at bringing software, leveraging my background in technology, to the trades and to service-based businesses. One of the things I think that a lot of the praise around buying a business might get wrong or not fully talk about and recognize is the fact that the operators and owners of these businesses often are experts. They really know a lot about their profession. And so unless you have a formula for running one of these businesses, or unless you've done it before, or you're already an expert in the category, there's going to be a learning curve. And that's to be expected, but it's not to be discredited. Those learning curves are going to be significant. If you buy a plumbing business, but you're not a plumber, that learning curve is going to be, it's going to take over your life. It's going to dominate everything you do until you master it. And the more we looked at that, the more I felt that there was a better approach for us. We looked at various aspects of the trade industry. What were these businesses up against? What were their biggest challenges? As we were evaluating them, we studied how they operated. How did they keep their books? How were they generating revenue? What were their sales and marketing tactics? And it all kind of pointed back to some level of disorganization. There were really well-run businesses out there. They had a great tech stack. They had a great set of tools and applications they used and an awesome operating system. Those were usually pretty expensive and pretty well-run businesses, and often not for sale because there was no need to sell those businesses. They were running really well. And they often had operators who were more tech savvy. And so then there was this other category where that was not the case, and we became really interested in that. While we were doing all of this, we were in the midst of building a house. And I worked really closely with the general contractor, who happened to be a friend. And it was really interesting how bills were being paid, how invoices were happening, and the disorganization around that, the manual effort, the time, was baffling to me. The number one most important thing to small businesses is getting paid. It's the one thing you have to have happen. It's the one fact of running a small business that if it doesn't take place, you can't run your business. You have to get paid. You have to send invoices and collect payment. And yet that was the one thing these businesses were terrible at. It took forever to get invoices from them. They never followed up. No one was ever asking to get paid. And when they got paid, they often struggled to match it back to the invoice that they had originally sent. It was complete disorganization. And so when we had these two major observations, we had the observation on the small business kind of tech stack and operating system, and then we had this kind of baffling experience with invoicing and payment collection for the trades and small businesses while building our house. We built a company around that. Today, Invoyce is focused on bringing true AI features, actual agentic AI, to trades businesses to automate these pain points. Clearly the most painful pain points that eat up hours of a tradesperson or an owner-operator's time. Right now, we're really good at invoicing, client management, and handling some of the financial data about your business. The app can automatically complete tasks using a verbal prompt. When we studied these businesses, we saw that one of the things that was prohibiting owners or operators of actually sending the invoice was how tedious it was to do it. It had nothing to do with knowing the information or even having it documented somewhere, but getting it into an invoice to actually send, same thing was true with quoting, was what ate up their time. They didn't want to sit at the computer. They didn't want to have the screen time. They didn't want to have the admin back office time. They wanted to be in the field with their customers, actually working and completing tasks. And so if we could automate this, and if we could automate it without requiring the admin time, it felt like we were solving a really big problem. And so today, Invoyce can send invoices, collect payment, update customer records, keep some job notes, and answer financial questions about your business, all just with voice prompts. It's an app you can talk to. And that was really important for us, is if you can talk or type to the app and you don't have to learn how to use it, you're solving the learning curve. And you're making a tool that contractors and small business owners will actually want to use because they don't really need to use it. These people are great at talking. They go client to client site all day long. They manage their crews. That's what they do. They talk for a living. And if we can create an app that just bakes right into that flow, then we're solving their biggest problem. Right now, we're in the midst of building version 2, which will take this same technology and roll it out across scheduling, job management, job tracking, and allow for some multi-user workflows so that if you have a back office staff, or so that your team can participate in this as well. We'd love for you to kind of follow along. We're going to post videos updating on our growth. We're currently in a quest to get to 1,000 users. Those first 1,000 users will get access to Invoice for free, as long as we get 1,000 users by the end of March. Follow along that kind of video series. We're going to be updating on our growth trajectory related to getting to those 1,000 users. We're going to be sharing a little bit about how we're building the app, the features and functions we think are really critical. And then we'll probably share a little bit about life. What's it like to kind of dive in, start a software company, an intentionally small software company, a software company that believes that software should be free or incredibly inexpensive, and one that's focused on supporting the trades and the businesses that actually keep our communities running. So many of the tech companies out there are built to sell to each other or sell to Fortune 500 companies. That's not what we're doing. We wanted to own a local business, a business that operated in the community, and that's what we're doing. We're bringing a software company to community-based businesses. Follow us on social, keep checking in. If you are a tradesperson, download the app, share it with your friends, become one of our first 1,000 users, and get Invoice for free.